Priya, ಇದು ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಬಿಡ್ ಲೈಟು ಆಲ್ ಲೈಟ್
Muted.
Fine.
Unmuted. Muted.
So today, see, we can leverage HANA as, you can use HANA as enterprise or native HANA or HANA as data mart. What does it mean? You don't leverage HANA as a centralized database, get the data from different sources into HANA and then do performance on top of the tables and then expose them for reporting. So we're not getting in depth of all this. Just to know the cycle, how do they do, like how do we build the database or how do we do modeling, how can we do reporting on top, more beyond how does it's a complete cycle work for us. Okay, we're just trying to do that. So SAP HANA as enterprise. So give me majorly three parts of it. So you deal with building database in SAP HANA. Then you go over doing modeling on top of database. So you build the database in HANA. Then on top of those database, you're going to do the HANA specific. Then expose the model and do reporting. So I can do reporting.
Unmuted. Muted.
Can you hear me now? Prakash, can you hear me now? Prakash? Just type these things. Okay, yeah. So expose models and then do reporting and which can be leveraged for analysis. This is the major part, major three steps. That's what we deal with in providing HANA as enterprise, HANA as on enterprise. Okay. So just take, so what do? We go to what? HANA Studio, and from HANA Studio get connected to HANA server and then start working on it. In HANA Studio, I'm in which prospect, modeler, and then I'm getting connected to the system. I'm just say log on. Okay. So what I want is I've got connected to the system and I would like to build my database. So now we know that under the kit, you get to see all the schemas, right? You can see, you see lots of schemas. And I'm not interested in all this. Let me just filter only ones starting with cubic schemas. These are the ones. And I would like to create a new schema first. So for create, because it's about, see, entire database will be stored as what? As one schema. Schema itself we refer it as what? A database. Yeah. So I'll get to the SQL editor like this. You can just click on this icon or right click on the system. You get option as what? Open SQL console. This opens up a SQL editor where you can start editing your SQL. So I would like to create schema, SCHCMA. We'll get back to all the statements again, but I'm just taking you through on how does enterprise solution work in it. Create schema, I would like to say 2 cubics. That's my name. name of the schema. Done. See this execute. The create schema statement is executed. Now I should find a new schema here. Right click and say refresh. Do I find a schema called 2cubics here? And when I expand the schema, it does the schema hold different kind of database objects like tables, views, procedures, all this. But nothing is here now. There's no table, no views, nothing is been available. What I want is, I don't create my table on my own now. Let's say I have a file here. I have a file called, okay. So I have a file like this, which is a contract file. I've got something like contract ID, and then I've got start date, end date, sales executive, contract volume, and I've got lots of stuff on the contract. And I do know the customer of the contract, who is the customer, and what is the product, and also have the sales org information and some details. So what I want is, I don't create any table in the HANA database. So I have a flat file. From this flat file, I would like to import the data, and then it creates a table automatically. Based on the data, it creates the table for me. I would like to go with the proposal of the table. Yeah. So, but now I'm showing you some mechanism of importing data from flat file into HANA. But this is whatever I'm showing is only for prototyping. In the real time, you don't import the flat file this way. There will be different mechanism. But what I'm doing now is just for prototyping. Let's say you have some data in the file and you would like to build some POCs. You can straight away do this input. But this does not do in the real time like this. Yeah? So how do I would like to import that file and create a table into the schema automatically through that import. Okay. File and also what? Import here. Or I told you for frequently performed operations, do you see quick view with frequent links? You can just get a quick view and you see an option here. What is import? Anyway, you can get in import. And I would like to import HANA content, expand HANA content. Then you want to import what? Data from local file, and so next. And then to this system, so next. And start selecting your file. Now, which file are you looking at? Files. This is a contract file. Yeah. Well, it's a CSV file, right? Okay. Commerce operator is okay. It does have and import all data. And then do you want to import that into the new table or existing? Two possibilities. You can either first create a table, import data into this table. That is one option. The other option is you first go about straight away with import, it creates a table. So I would like to get into what? The new or existing? New. And which schema it is? 2cubics and the table name. Say. Contracts. That's my table name. And based on the file structure, it is proposing all these columns out for me. And see, here I can choose what type of table it has to create, whether column store or what. I'm okay with column store. And what is the primary key? What I want it as what? The contract ID is the primary. And start date. You can see the data proposal. I'm okay with all this. Yeah. So next, and then say finish. You see this message, importing has been completely successful. Now, with this import, it would have created the table automatically for you. So just refresh. Do you see a table called contracts? Right click and start seeing your content. Now, do you have the table loaded now? I've got contract ID, start date, end date, and those stuff. See, it has proposed the date types and everything for the columns. If you want, you can still customize all this. So I've got a table this way. And I've got one more table relevant for customer details. So I've got a customer number, the first name, last name, gender, country, and some. And from customer, I can derive to which sales org does he belong and customer type, all this. Yeah? So I would like to import this data into this. Again, can I say this way also? File and then import data from local file, and then let me build this. What? Customer master data file. Header. Again, it's a CSV. Import all data into new table. Customer. So with this, my customer ID is the primary key, right? and varchar, and you can still change this data types or lengths what it is proposing this. Okay, it's important. Next, I want one more file relevant for product database. Product master database. Again, it's a CSV file and it's in the new table products. And product ID is my key. That's why I've imported some data into this. So now in overall, I've got 3 tables. I've got contracts, customers, and I've got customer data, and I've got product. It's all been now. Product category, name, and some got. So, so I've got 3 tables. Can we do reporting on these tables? Yes. I can build a universe on top of these 3 tables and then generate some reporting into Vivo also. But if I do this, then all the joining and the pressure is put onto the Vivo server, not onto HANA server. So our intention was what? We need to push down the logic as much as possible deep into HANA database. So I would like to leverage HANA modeling and project the view what my business wants. I would like to project the view what my business wants. Yeah. So what I'll do, do some HANA modeling, through which I'll do slicing and dice or joining, projections, all the stuff on the tables, and then project out the view what my business user wants. Clear on this? So I'm not going, we know that HANA models, we have attribute view, article view, calculation, but I'm straight away getting on to calculation because that is a major one we use. Okay. So with this, now we have built the database in HANA. That's a database about what? Bringing your data into your HANA database. But the mechanism, what I showed you about bringing data from Flatpak, that is only for prototyping. We don't do that because that's a one-time job. It's not regular. You cannot schedule that in the back end like that. Okay, boss? So now, for all the modeling, what is that you do? You get into what? Content. Okay. Package. Now I would like to create one more package. Now before I start creating package, now we have database built with the schema called what? 2QBix, and it's got some tables. And I would like to leverage these tables and do slicing and dicing and build the view what my business user wants from there. Yeah? So now, are we trying to create HANA models or calculation view or whatever HANA models on top of these tables? Of which schema was? 2QBix. Very, very important. If I need to do this, you'll have a default system user called sysrepo bus. This particular user should have access to that schema, otherwise he will not be able to activate those views. So what you do is, once that has been schema and database is set up, we need to grant access. But for this we use grant. I would let grant select access. Select on schema. What is the schema name? To QBix. To which one? To user called sys underscore repo. There will be a system user called sysrepo. He is the user who is responsible for maintaining the complete repository, complete modeling content. And when I try to activate my views, calculation views, analytical views, sysrepo is the one who is going to activate it. And he should have access to reading the data from the tables, otherwise he will not be able to activate it. So I'm giving select access to all the database objects on what? In my schema to sysrepo with grant option. He can grant others. Sir. So only once you grant this, we will be able to create HANA specific models on top of the tables of the particular schema. Sysrepo must have access to that. He is the one who is responsible for maintaining complete HANA content. So I told you in the content folder, all the HANA models are organized by using what? Packages. So I would like to create one package, right click and new package. So I would say 2pk QBix is my name of the package. That's it. Say okay. So I get a package. And under this package, I would like to create the sub packages. Just want to create one more again. New package. I would say 2pk underscore QBix. Under that, I would like to have another package called models. Like this, you can go about creating n number of levels of package. It's just like a folder, nothing else. It's a folder in your server. So under this package, I would like to create my HANA specific model. Just by leveraging those three tables, I would like to build a simple model and expose it for reporting on top of it. If you first, before this, you should have some understanding of the database. Yeah. Contacts, customers, and here what? Products. There are three tables. Just try to understand. This is my contract ID and all this stuff. Yeah. But look, if I look at my contract ID, the complete value is not my contract. If you see this, 90001 till here it's contract number. The next part of it is the sales order. I would like to do offsetting of this column to get the contract. Original contract number is only first 7 characters of my contract ID. Yeah. And then that's all fine, and rest all is okay. And what? So does it? Do you have customer and product here? And once you know customer, if I need to get the details from this customer, if I go to my customer table, do I get the details of the customer? And I have the product, and from this product, if I go to my products table, do I get the details of the products? Yeah. Say, I've got contract volume, or apart from all this, so I have some key figures like contract volume and then nomination volume, min and max. Okay. But apart from all this, I would like to get the number of contracts. So I would like to bring out some measure which can give me the count of contracts for me. So if I can bring out a new column which gives me 1111. So based on the dimension what you slice and dice, will that one adds up and then gives you count? Yes or no? Will that give you count? Yes or no? Now I'll just build up a counter like field with 1111, and depending on the dimension what you build on, does it aggregate those ones and give you the count of it? Yes. Next, one more. Compliance. That's it. That's what we want to do now. And I don't want, my business user doesn't want all those columns, just specific columns what he wants in from there. Let me choose. Let me create a pack new. Under package, I'm going to create what? Cal. See, I'm not teaching you. I'm just showing you how does it look like. Okay, so don't worry on this. So just give some name of the view. CV underscore then. Okay, and I'm just leaving it as it is, nothing else. And this is a screen where you can start doing modeling. Yeah. So you'll have different set of nodes like projections. Join is for joining two tables or two objects. It's for union is for unifying. You know about difference between join and union, yeah. And then projection is just projecting certain columns of a table what you want. Just say I got a table. From this table, I would like to just select what I want or filter some row wise or column wise. So I've got 100 columns in a table. I only want 10 columns. So I can use projection to just project only 10 columns. So there are a lot of data in the table. I would like to refer only the data where my year is 2015. I would like to apply filter. Then filtering of records and filtering certain columns of a table is what we do in projection. Then aggregation is like when you want to perform some aggregation from sum of, let's say you got measures, you got characteristics. Based on the characteristic combination, I want to perform group by and aggregate those measures. I would like to perform sum of the key figures, grouping by the dimensions. So when you use aggregation here. And then there's ranking. When I want to give top 5, bottom 5, and I want to use ranking, I can do. Yeah? But okay, now let me start. So I just want to do projection of the table. No? First, so and any node you select, does open the canvas here. Now projection, which table, you can say add object here, or in the canvas here I can say add. Which object? Contract. So you want to refer to the table of which schema it is? 2 cubics. Say okay. So from this, what all columns you would like to have? I would just start selecting contract ID, start date and date, executive, contract volume, nomination date, so delivery day, and then I want contract type, sales or customer product. That's it. This is the columns I would like to have it. Okay. Then apart from these columns, I told you contract rate has got the entire contract number and the sales org. So apart from the columns, what I've derived from the table, these are the columns which I've derived directly from the table. Yeah? I would like to have calculate one more column, here, actual contract number. Yeah? I would say contract number. This is the actual number, which is of length varchar, and then say I would say 10. What is your function? From the contract ID, I must pick the left 7 characters. So I'll have a string function, left string. The syntax is the string. Pass in contract ID, and how many characters you want? 7. That's and the say validate. That's fine. This is how I can derive new column also. So if you want right part of it, I can say right of. I can derive apart from selecting the columns what has been available in the database directly. I can derive some new columns, do calculations. Then you also wanted to have a counter like field, which is with constant 1. Yeah. So it's a new number of number of contacts. I would say database integer, and what is the value 1? 1. So then what happens for every record? It just refers to 111 on this. Okay, good. So from this table, I wanted all this. Then I wanted to get on to next this thing. Then once I take certain data from the contract table, I would like to join this with the customer data based on the customer column. Yeah? So I make sure I selected customer column from here. Then I get what is this here? Or still make it more detailed. I'll get one more projection of the table what customers. So from here I want customer ID, first name, last name, title, gender, country code, and then customer type I would prefer. This only columns what I want from this table. Then I would like to join both of this. Bring out a join, connect this projection to this, connect this projection to this, get to the join. So you get 2 projections now. You want to join this on what? Customer to this. Just drag and drop, and you can specify join type what you want. Inner join, left outer join, what? Let's not worry on this. It's just I'm doing an inner join now. Then start selecting all this what I want from this. Contract ID, start date. You can select one by one like this, or I can use shift and then select multiple columns at a time also. From here I want all this. So I've joined these two. So I was able to join both contract data and customer data now. Then what I want is I would like to have a projection of my products table now. All right, not necessarily that you need to have projection for every table. I'm not using it now. Instead of let me bring one more join. In any join, you can only join 2 objects, whether it's 2 tables or 2 projects, only 2. Now the result of this join should be joined to another object, which is another table, which is what? Products. Yeah. From 2 cubics, and I would like to join this on what? Product. Now just select what all these I want from this. From this I want product name and category, price, and currency. That out. Then take this to the aggregation. Yeah. Now in the aggregation, I want all this, but you'll have to specify in the aggregation. You'll have to specify. Aggregation is what you got to specify for which keywords. What is aggregation function you want? Like it's like select contract date so and so, so and so, so and so. Then sum of amount, sum of quantity, sum of contract. You'll let specify aggregation function when you use group by, right? That's all. So all characteristics normal delivery date. All this is clear. Its characteristics. I'll just say add to output. But contract volume, I'll say add as aggregated column because it's going to be a measure. Yeah. Nomination date, delivery date, contract type. Then rest all would be normal columns. Contract number. Yes. Add to output. But this is number of contracts is what is aggregated column again. Till here it's again normal. This again is a key figure, aggregated column. This again is a characteristic at currency. Okay. And this is actually currency of what? Of price. Good. Now I see, you see this columns here, all key figures and this been measured out. If required any changes on table, we'll deal with all this, yeah. Don't worry on those, how to change, we'll deal with all that. So I've got the objects ready. Then we go to semantics. Here we'll have to specify basically which is my characteristic. Here we refer it as attribute and measures. Yeah. So we can use this mechanism of auto assign if that's proposed. For contract ID, see it is proposing as measure here. I want the attribute, you can change it. I want this as attribute, this as attribute. I want this also as an attribute, yeah. Contract volume, actually, yeah, measure, yeah. Number of contracts, country code is actually again attribute, price is fine. So we'll basically have two types of columns. One is attributes or measures. Okay, good. That's it. That's active. That's it. We are ready. One simple point I want. Let me just see the data, then I'll show you. You can preview the data here. Then I get broad data here. So just focus on this. You have see price here, and what is this? This is the currency of this price. If you look at when you run your big queries, do you get output like say 10 rupees? You get the value with associated with the currency. Same way, I would like to associate my currency also to my keyword. We'll have something called semantics you can define. Say, yes, you have this currency, right? See, in BW, you'll have different type of informatics, time characteristic, unit characteristic, attribute, measure. Then when you want it to deal with currencies or units, you want to define more semantics to the column, say that this is going to be currencies in it. So you select this currency column, and there's something like assign semantics that said this is of type currency. What is this? This is going to be of type what? Currency code. Now I'll assign this currency code to what? Price. Select this price, go to semantics. I'll say this will be amount with what? Currency code, which is my currency code column. Where is that currency? So like this, by using semantics, you can define more meaning towards that column and say this is the date column, all those stuff. Then apart from this, let's say in BW, do you deal with hierarchies? Yeah, I can also build hierarchies in this views. Say I would like to build on customer wise. Let's say I'll go to this hierarchies tab and say what? Create hierarchies. Say. Okay, level based hierarchies and level. Okay, don't worry on much. So you can create either level based or what? What is? You have two types of hierarchies you can create: level based or parent child based. I'm going with level based and add your levels. What is that you want? I want to go with customer, right? I want to say country of the customer. Let's say customer type. Under customer type, I want countries. I want under this, I want customer. Just simple customer type under this country, under this customer. Anything you want, you can build. And I want a root node, yes. And we'll deal with all this. Multi-parent is also. And again, I would let's get one more hierarchies for product category and the stuff. Yeah. I'll go with product. Do you see product category something? Yeah, product category. Then I'll say, where is the product now? Product. So just category and product. That's it. So you can go to creating hierarchies with a number of levels. That is level based. Yeah, that's okay. That's it. My views are ready. This actually now when you activate the view, it does actually create some column view in Sysbig schema. Like how does it when you activate cube or something? How does it create the table or dimension tables? Similarly, whenever I create a view, what is this view name? ZCV contract analysis, right? So if you go to schema called what is it? You have schema called Sysbig. See the schema. What is this here? Sysbig. Expand this. Then ZCV contract. So Don't worry in all this. This is your catalog column view, whatever. So when you deploy your views, HANA models, it automatically creates a column views in this. I can either see data of this view or even from the column view, I can see open content. I can see the data. You see this new contract also. This is the new contract number which we derived. I can see the view content either by the normal HANA model or even from the column view which is generated from the view activation in the sysbig schema. HANA model activate చేసినప్పుడు ఆటోమేటిక్గా sysbig schema లో ఒక column view generate అయింది. దాని మీద కూడా రిపోర్టింగ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. So now three options. I can do reporting on the tables directly or the HANA model or even on the column views also. Okay, boss? Yeah. So now I'm okay with I've done the modeling on top of those HANA database. Now I would like to do reporting on top of this. Yeah. We can use any of the reporting tools here. Let me just I'll use overlap analysis. Okay. I'll use business objects analysis for overlap. I'll go to BI. Okay, I'll just get it analysis. Insert data source, select data source. I don't have consume. So let me create one connection and then use it here. Can I log into IDT? I'll add. Okay. I'm just creating a session. So let me create a connection here. Overlap HANA. What is it you want to connect? I want to connect to what? HANA database. Host name is SAP Cubex. It's not one second. we install new support. Back rodam. Okay, we'll just create some universe and then do. అలాగైతే నీకు అన్ని వచ్చేది వన్ షిఫ్ట్. ఇది కొత్త వేరే ప్యాచ్ చేసినాను దీనికి. Because I was not able to connect SAP, so I applied a patch. Now I'm able to connect SAP, but nothing else. Back rodam. One second. Last we'll try. If not, we'll go with. Okay, we'll see that later. So let me. I'm just creating some universe on top of this the view, and then do report some maybe report on top of it. So I'll say new project and create some project. Then create a connection, relational connection to the HANA database. So I would like to connect the SAP systems, HANA database, and using JDBC drivers. Host name is instance is 01 for me. Okay. Then set this as secured connection. So I have the connection now. So you can create the business layer and data foundations. You can just straight away say SAP HANA business layer, which you will be able to access the views directly. Say demo BL0404 something. BF0404. So it does show you all the packages. Now what was mine? 2 PK Cubics models. And this was the view grid that CV contract analysis. I was trying to select this one. So based on those views, it automatically creates classes and objects, everything. If you can change it later, good. Open your data foundation once. I'll have to change this because it is using local. I will have to change this to secured connection. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. And then what are the business layer view? Demo BL0404. I'll publish it to the enterprise, to the repository. So now my universe is ready. So I can just design some simple using WebB. I can get it. I'll go to WebB rich client and then just create some simple report on top of it. Great. I will create it on the universe. Demo BL0404 is my universe and this. drag in some contract type and get in some contract volume and some price. Run it. So this is just like a simple query what we've been picking it from the view bus. So ultimately it will be like building database, doing your models and exposing them for the reporting. So the reporting could be with BO or a Tableau, whatever it is, but now here we're just leveraging business objects to do reporting onto SAP. This will be enterprise HANA. Like you can use these tools or we have other tools like Design Studio. Okay. We'll have other reporting tool. Now new dashboarding tool, Design Studio. We can also use this to do reporting straight away on HANA database. So I just want to create some new application and then so I would like to bring in some. You'll have different set of components. I just want to bring in some cross tab and create some data source, which is the HANA system outlet connect. Is it audible? What is this? Okay. And the data source, Cubex package, models, and there's a view, which is referred as data source one. Now, once I have the data source, I'm just saying edit initial view. How do you want the view to be? I want measures is fine. And I want the contract type. Why no data available? There's no. Okay. Some customer and some customer type or something. And drag this onto this. I can just execute local. See, there's no data. It says. The connection problem. There's no prompts also. Did not find any data. There's no selections. Okay, I can just drag in. This is okay. I can use some other view at least. It's stuck here. It is trying to show prompts because I just selected some view. There's some prompts for it. Okay, but that's how you can consume them in Design Studio or you can consume them in. Yeah, now it has come. But the view what I selected has got some parameter. Let me just say initial value, country, done. I'll let put this into my source. And this is like very, because I've got some parameters in the HANA, I'll show you how to get that done. And you get results. That could be displayed in charts or whatever it is. Okay, I can also go with Lumira or whatever. Like say, for example, you want parameterize this view also. What I can do, you can open this view. You'll have some concept called parameters or whatever. Say, I would like to show them on. They should choose a contract type. Okay. So what I'll do, there's something called input parameters. Right click, say new parameter. See type. I'll say. You want to store its value. I'll say direct. That's okay. And then where cares. Then I'll go to contract type, right click, say what? Apply filter. I don't go with the fixed value, either 0 or 1. I would let go with what? Input parameter, which is this. So whenever I run this query, I would get a selection screen like stuff, where I select, say, 0 for one type of contract. So I get to see only contracts of type, look at this. What is contract type of type what? 0. And if I run this with, it's like a selection screen you can bring in, yeah? One. So let's see the records of contract type 1. We can control list of values, F4 values, we can control cascading, lots of stuff can be done, but you can also parameterize your views like this. There's something like input parameter, like say, or you want to go with some variables, like say, I want to select on customer, yeah? Select customer, and there's some, what is here again? You can also create like variables. There's some concept called variables and input parameters. Don't take input parameters also, we'll discuss on the difference. That's okay, I want, yeah, that's fine. And then, see, now the customer is filtered with variable term. So there are two concepts here. In BW, you see it as variables, but here you will see contact type 1, and then I say choose customer. So some broad, okay. I say C100 something. So there's no data with the contact type 0 and with this, but I can say 1 and C100. Which no combination. C 200 is on that. You can always use variables or see both input parameters and variables looks like your mix variables itself, but there is some difference out to that. So like this, it's about building your database, doing your HANA specific models and exposing it for reporting. This is what you do in enterprise HANA. And each topic will have in depth, like say building database will have lots of other objects to deal with, like sequences, triggers, procedures, functions, all this. And doing HANA modeling, we deal with attribute views, analytical views, calculations. Again, there are lot get in depth of input parameters, variables, filterings, procedures, like lots of stuff. And there's like you can also go with creating your calculation view with what is SQL script base, and that's where make it. We'll have get into in-depth options of all the modeling concepts. We'll have graphical modeling and modeling SQL script also. Then reporting tools with different flavors on that. So this is where we're getting on to enterprise analysis. Now from tomorrow when we get into learning about HANA database, you should understand why I'm trying to stage all my data into HANA database so that I can, on top of this, I can build my HANA modeling and then expose it them for reporting. Yeah. Analysis wall opportunity, we could have seen that hierarchy, or I can show you with normal Excel. I can show you that. I can use HANA MDX provider and then connect to that. because I want to show you hierarchy. Yeah. Two PK models. This is a view. So you have there is this customer hierarchy. Okay, first let me bring in some measures. Mm, not a number. Okay, but if you get into, see, basically when you expose your HANA models into the reporting, you can expose through SQL or MD expose. Only when you expose consume through MDX interface, you can access hierarchies. Otherwise, no. In view universe, which is basically consuming your view, it does not get your hierarchies because that is with SQL. But if it is with HANA or Excel or OLAP analysis, which connects through OLAP connections, then that can leverage even hierarchies also. Only with MDX connections, it can leverage hierarchies what is built. Otherwise, we'll see that later. But this is how it works with enterprise and others. Clear this? So tomorrow we'll start getting into database. Yeah, I'll send those files. Yeah. So from tomorrow we'll be getting in depth in building up database, like schema, table. We'll have different types of tables, procedure, sequences. We get into this. That we get into SQL also, SQL and SQL. Okay, was fine. And most of the people, what's happening is they don't have the system access and they're not able to practice. And that's again, you get the access after 10 days. Then by the time you miss all these topics. So please make sure you have your system connect already set up already so that you can practice it every day. Okay, was fine. Done. View I'll take through. Don't worry.